We've got a special guest joining us live.
Oh.
For those of you on Instagram, you won't be able to see him, but you will be able to hear him. Okay, Sam.
Hey.
What's up, Nate? How you doing?
Hey. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. We're just having some fun here on this Sunday afternoon. I guess it's nighttime for you by now.
It's late enough where I can be drinking. So
Nice.
I'm not like Sam. I'm not like Sam drinking in the day.
Yeah. Sam's not the only one, unfortunately. Today's just a weird day.
What's up, Nate?
How are you, man?
Yeah. Sam, you want to come and bring a stool? Come hang out with us? Anyway, everybody, this is Nate Williams. He is the producer, writer of Nobody Else. We just released a single this Friday. What'd you say, Sam?
Multi-instrumentalist extraordinaire.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Nate, Nate is one of the newest members of Jamiroquai, which is one of our favorite bands. And we're really, really stoked that we got to work on a song with you, dude. Like.
Oh, same. Same for me.
Yeah. So I guess the people want to know how we met. I've got a couple questions for you that people wanted to ask you.
Okay.
But yeah, you want to tell the story or should I?
I'll start.
Cool.
If I start, you can
Cool.
add any detail. It's kind of hazy for me, so you can maybe add some details I missed out.
Awesome.
But you were opening for PJ Morton in London.
Yeah.
Correct so far.
Yep. Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
One of one.
And I'll keep trying. But then, yeah. So I didn't know there was like an opening act or a support act or anything. So it was like a surprise when somebody else walked on stage, and we were all kind of going, "Okay,
Who's this
cool."
bitch?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember saying that, but maybe that's one of the details I forgot. But yeah. But anyway, you basically just started singing, and I was there with my partner. I took my mum and sister are huge PJ Morton fans, so
Nice.
we took them as well. We were kind of just sitting in the back, just getting ready, and then this voice happens, and we're kind of going, shit. Yeah. So I mentioned Jamiroquai, I think, at the time, right?
Yeah.
I think on stage you cited him as a big reference or influence.
Yeah, I think I said before our last song, we played the song We Go Together. And that song specifically, like Sam and I, when we were writing it, we were just like, dude, this is so Jamiroquai. Like, do you think JK is going to be jealous if he hears this song? Like, we were just all hyped, but like, it was super, super inspired by you guys. And
Amazing.
I said that in the crowd. Obviously, I didn't know that you were in the crowd, but it was just meant to be, I think.
It's a weird small world as well, because I think I mentioned maybe I'd seen Matt Johnson around the same time or just after that show, and I mentioned, oh man, this Raquel, you should check her out. And he said, oh, I'm doing a session with Raquel. So it's like, oh
yeah, I'm just infiltrating Jamiroquai.
just hitting London hard.
Yeah,
that was amazing though.
Yeah, I'm super.
That was so
super
good.
Glad we got to do that.
That was like a standout tune for me as well. I remember that tune really stayed with me, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, amazing tune.
See,
I don't know why I chose that key.
Sam, if you're listening out there, I actually need your iPad for all this conversation that I'm missing from all of our fans. Gosh, the people want to ask him stuff. Sweet. Well, if you're on YouTube, I can read your comments right now. And if any of you want to ask Nate a question, yeah. So our friend Krisha, when I was asking about questions, she's one of like our dopest fans, and she wanted to know what's your favorite song to play with Jamiroquai. Like, what's the jam?
My favorite song. I really like playing because I get to play a few different instruments in the band. So I play a little bit of the guitar, I play a little bit of keys, and some singing. But I think my favorite to play live is Love Philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
So I get to play I play like a really tiny second guitar part, but it's one of my favorite things to do. And then I get to play a little bit more stuff because Rob Harris starts playing and doing some amazing solo stuff. And I just play the rhythm part, but it's just such a cool, because he wrote the parts originally, and he's such a crazy, just amazing arranger for guitar. Like his part writing is just unbelievable. So I get to play all these amazing Rob Harris guitar parts and just pretend to be Rob Harris while he's just being Rob Harris. which is kind of cool.
Well, this actually is a perfect segue into another question that somebody wanted to know is like, what do you play on stage? Like, what is your setup?
So I'll start broad strokes, and then if you want to know any specifics, I'll tell you. So I just play keys, so 2 keyboards, guitar, and some background vocals. I pretty much kind of go between the 3 parts. I do a lot of triggering of some of like the string parts, you know, like the big Jamiroquai string hits and all those samples. So I have a lot of those chopped. Yeah, exactly, that one. Yeah.
That was
so I have.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite sound ever.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's so good. So I have a lot of those samples from different songs chopped up and ready to go on the keyboard at any point. So occasionally Jay will go into some crazy breakdown, and I get to just kind of live remix a tune and play weird samples in the wrong places and do some stupid stuff. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard Nate sing, he's ridiculous. Like, he's singing backgrounds in that band, and it's just like, dude, you should just sing lead. Maybe not in Jamiroquai, it's a different thing, but he actually has his own project that you guys should check out. So another question that we had was on Instagram by someone plugged by T. They want to know how long the process was to write Nobody Else, and they want to know how that session went.
It was super quick, as far as I remember.
Yeah. I think
it was
maybe 4 hours-ish, 5.
Yeah,
3.
I think maybe we met. You guys got the tube, right? To my studio.
The tube.
Yeah. And then we met for some coffee, and we hung out.
Yeah, we had a
little
cup
bit.
of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I started. I was joking with Sam the other day that I opened up the sampler and Logic, and the preset sound is just this sine wave synth, and I just kind of went doop. I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's do it. Something like that sounds really cool. Let's start there.
Because I was asking you like, hey man, what patch did you use for this? Because I was trying to like create a patch from like a Jupiter and like this and that and all these like synths, and you're like, oh, I just used like the basic like whatever sine wave.
You literally don't even have to choose a patch. Like it's the first thing that happens when you open the sampler. Yeah. I tried to make one on the Prophet like last week or a couple of weeks ago, and I just couldn't get it. I was just, and I opened Logic and went.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be releasing the Nobody Else sample pack, including a Logic preset made by Nate Williams.
Dude, actually, did you see the new merch I released? There's a sine wave tee that like has the lyric.
I saw.
You've got to learn to deal with the valleys. The hills will take care of themselves. And I thought I was so clever because I was just like, dude, sine waves are basically just valleys and hills.
Shit, son.
We're gonna send you one of those, Nate.
Yeah, we'll send you.
Amazing. To be fair, you could write a song with any synth like wave, and you could just those lyrics would work perfectly. We could do a sawtooth version. We could do a triangle version. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be great.
That's hilarious. Okay, we have one more question from Instagram. Somebody wants to know if you can spell Jamiroquai.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
I can't. Every time I'm just like, fuck, is it
it's so funny. I will like proofread Raquel's like emails and stuff like that, and I'm just like, Jamir, it's an AI.
Yeah, I have like started to come up with acronyms. It's like, okay, the very end of it, it's QUA, like Universal Audio, and then input, like Universal Audio input. I'm like,
damn.
Wow.
I get crazy.
So I want to know what's the JAMI? What's the rest of the thing?
Jam is easy to remember. And then I used to think it was RAQ, and I was thinking like, oh, like my name, but I just think of IROC, like Jam IROC, Universal Audio Input.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
And really hot, honestly.
Man, that's such hard work. You must be so tired all the time.
Wow.
That's amazing.
You guys are getting the inside scoop here.
I need a little.
Anyway, so.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man, it's really awesome to talk with you and like see your face. This has been really cool. Thank you for being part of this. And thank you for doing this music with us. Like, I'm so happy with the way that Nobody Else came out. And, you know, I'm going to tell you a funny thing. And I feel like I have to voice this kind of stuff, otherwise it gets me like, it makes me crazy. But there's like musicians, when you're not on a major label, you do things like submit your music to different blogs and whatever. And there's a place called Submit Hub. And I went on there and I submitted Nobody Else to like a bunch of blogs. And they got denied. Like on every single song or every blog, it was like decline. And they all gave a reason. It was all stupid. Like, the production and the voice is amazing, but like, it just not. And I was just like, oh, God. And then I started getting those like 4 or 5 emails that said my song wasn't picked, and I was like, man, does the song suck? Do I suck? Like, shit, was this a bad single? Like, man. And now just talking to you and like hanging with you, I'm like, man, fuck those people. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, this is a great song. I'm proud of it, and I feel like the team behind it was awesome. So thank you for helping me
it's
make
my
some
pleasure.
great music.
Can I add one? I don't know if you've got time. Can I add one thing to that?
We run this thing.
I've been talking to some friends recently about writing music and stuff and releasing music. And I have a theory. I don't really have much to back this up, but my theory is, if you write the song and you like it, you got to park that. That's great. If you like it, cool. Then I think you can split the rest of the population up into like thirds. Mm-hmm. A third of the people are going to love it. A third of the people will probably dislike it, and a third of the people probably couldn't give a shit. Yeah. So I think somewhere in those people who couldn't give a shit, there'll be people who like it and people who don't. So I think you're winning. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think as long as you like it, and then you put yourself on top, so that means you're always kind of winning. Yeah. So as long as you like it, I think that's the thing. And then split it into thirds and you know.
Honestly, I feel like that's what the song is even about. Like, I can't depend on other people's thoughts and opinions to make myself happy. It's like, if I like it, if I think it's good, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I love this song.
And it is good. You sound amazing. And it was such a pleasure, really, for me to write it. I felt like we were coming from similar musical play, which doesn't always happen in writing sessions. But for me, it was such a pleasure. Yeah. And I'm glad Sam came as well, which is unusual for me to have 2 people in the room. But it was really cool because you came from the same.
It's unusual for me when Sam isn't there.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad we took that trip. I'm glad that you like threw up our performance on your story, and we like just came across the tag, and like I happened to click on your page, and I was like, oh shit. I showed my phone to Sam. I'm like, dude, do you know who this is? He's like, oh shit.
That's amazing.
I don't know if you told like this story earlier, but I remember going over to London in like August of that same year, and we were doing like some radio interviews and stuff like that. And anytime that I had like the chance to get on the microphone, because sometimes they'd be like, oh, do you want to like sit on the interview too? I'm just like, okay, cool. And then anytime they would like let me talk, I'd be like, yeah, Jamiroquai, if you guys are out there, we're looking to collaborate with you. So just, let's connect.
Like, he did that just on like, BBC radio.
Just like jokingly, just
Amazing.
like as a total joke. And then I reached out to Matt Johnson, and he got back to us, and I was like, oh, what the like, that's crazy. And then you happened to be at that, like, the very first show that we played, and I'm just like, whoa. Yeah. They heard my message, bro.
We were so nervous at that show, too, because it was the first show that we've done with the band that we had. We like, hired a band from London, and we did one rehearsal, and we're like, oh, shit, of course the first show is opening for PJ Morton. It's like the biggest show. Like, all right, let's fucking nail it, you guys. And I thought it was a lot of fun.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was really great.
I'm glad we didn't know you were there.
I know that feeling. Yeah.
But we're actually going to premiere the video that we just did together, our live video of Nobody Else, so people can see it. It's going to come out officially tomorrow, but for those of you who are watching now, you get to see it in about just a couple minutes. Everybody say bye to Nate. Thank you so much. This is a lot of fun chatting with you.
Gotta love that 808 cowbell.
Yeah, of course.
Let's write something soon.
Let's do it.
All right, dude. We'll talk to you
I'm going to go and throw some sush.
Throw some
sush.
Pew, pew, pew.
See?
Bye.
And that was Nate Williams, everybody. That was awesome. Nate is such a freaking cool dude. Anyway, We are now going to premiere the Nobody Else live video, quarantine style. I know you guys have seen quite a few videos like this, but I feel proud of this one because it's got my band, or some of my band members, and I really freaking miss them a lot. I really miss playing music with you guys. We're going to talk about a story after this about what just happened on our block last night, and it's a really cool thing. But yeah, I would like to introduce to you the live premiere of Nobody Else. You're going through it lately, feeling the pressure now. You wanna stop being lazy, but you just don't know how. Don't let the hard times take control. Can't let them in your way, because next time you never go hand in hand. So don't get caught in that game. So you've gotta learn to deal with the valleys. The hills will take care of themselves. 'Cause in this life you've got one thing. It's you and nobody else. So nobody else. So nobody else. Oh, no. So nobody else. Nobody else. Stop comparing your journey to that of someone else. Take a moment to realize the miles you've got under your belt. You've come a long way, but you haven't even noticed. You're beating up yourself. Oh, but the best thing for you right now is nurture your mental health. So you gotta learn to deal with the valleys. The hills will take care of themselves. 'Cause in this life you've got one thing. It's you and nobody else. Say nobody else. Nobody else. No, 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 no. Say nobody else. Nobody else. Say nobody else. Hey. Say nobody else. Nobody, baby. I'm talking about me, myself, and I. That's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. And it ain't no need to cry about it. From now on, I'ma be my own best friend. Me, myself, and I. That's all I got in the end. That's what I found out.